Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you this episode is brought to you by patrons like I'm Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Den, Mr. Footers, Sodasan0424, and VideoGamer75. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it would help us out. Thanks for your support, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you heard Lucky down there bunkling his table in that intro somewhere. That's okay.
Somewhere.
It's live. It's okay.
know,
I've wonged a lot. I won't talk shit. But hi, welcome to Let's Talk FGO, the sleepiest FGO podcast there ever was. We recommend listening to it while you sleep. I'm one of your hosts, Heart of the Cards Omega, and with me as always, everybody's favorite Wild +4, it's Lucky.
That's super accurate. Anyway, everyone, I hope you're enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka Casino Royale. And while we here at Studio Omega like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EM version of the game, so anyone not want a spoiler should go believe in the prophecy.
The prophecy. That's it. Alright, well, before we talk about the prophecy, let's see. How long have we been in there? Okay, we've been doing this for a minute. YouTube won't get mad at me. Let's move in to check on everybody's favorite Kohai.
Senpai! 起きてください.
That's right, everybody. It's time for Wake the Fuck Up, Senpai. Ring a second for pro tips. This is a simple one. It's short. There's a lotto event coming up, everybody. Save your apples. You know you're going to want to spend them. Save your apples.
Man. I already, as I said, it's like no surprise. We got Nerofest coming up. And I already hear people like, alright, I already got my strategy down. I'm going to do like 50 boxes. No sweat. And I'm just all like,
I don't know about all that. I'm just a humble podcast maker. And I have lived in the South for a long time, so I can make this accent.
I just lived in the South for a while, but I'm just a simple man, and I have simple dreams.
On the other hand, I've looked at the whole thing's pretty good, so we'll talk about that later. Yeah, we're gonna do Nerofest 2019 pregame today, because, yeah, I'm sorry, I know a lot of people's, because Mystic Eyes won by a wide margin, and that's kind of relevant to what's going on with case files right now, but one of those topics was technically more urgent than the other, so I pushed Mystic Eyes a week. But yeah, that's the pro tip. Save your apples if you're going to do the lotto event, because you know you're going to want to do it a lot, because lottos are really good. They're really productive.
Yeah.
Alright, well now it's time for Lucky to talk for a while, which is good, because I have to talk a lot later.
Yep. So, we're going to go straight into Records from the Throne. Not Thorn, excuse me. This is in Caligula effect. Our regular achievement in the topic. Like I said, it's just me today. And everyone, it's time for another fucking story. We've been doing these 2 weeks, and here we have reached the fucking finale.
It's time for Act 3.
Yep. So, as everyone knows, for the past... for basically all of Summer Part 2, I have been throwing ludicrous amounts of money at the Part 2 banner in order to try and get a single made altar to no avail. I've gotten so many mamas, it's ridiculous, and so many things that are not on rate up, I almost want to consider it a statistical improbability. Almost. But I was, as someone who is completely not financially responsible and lets his emotions get away from him a little bit too easily, I was not one to give up so quickly. But at the same time, I was not completely a fool, so I basically had to spend time working odd jobs and pulling money from sources in order to get additional money for more 80 packs. And of course, within these times, the despair only grew. I think I spent I bought another 2 80 packs. One of which I actually got a Gold Archer card. Imagine my surprise. Imagine my absolute fucking glee. Imagine my absolute disappointment and shookitude when it was fucking Drake. So yes, Lucky is now the owner of an NP4 Drake. But, I kept on pushing on, and the second 80 pack, I got another, SSR. This was a Saber. In gold, of course. It was Artoria. I now have NP4 level 1 Artoria. It was not the Artoria I wanted.
Well, On the plus side, look, it sounds like eventually, before this game is over, you're gonna earn some USOs.
Yeah, like I'm looking at it, it's like, I'm actually really close. Like, as I said, I have NP5 John, I have NP4 Drake, Waver, and now Arturia. I have several NP3 SSRs, I'm all like... That's all like, wow. Maybe by Summer 4, I can actually just be like, nah, I'm just getting this. Because, like, literally, if I double, like, all the, if I literally just take all the SSRs I have right now and just double them, yeah, I would have enough. So, who knows? Maybe in 2 years, I will be able to finally use that.
The ultimate decadence.
Ultimate decadence. But at this point, I was hitting the limits of my, finances. Because I didn't want to go completely broke. Because you never go completely broke. That's dumb. You have bills you need to pay, people. You have food you need to buy. And so, of course, I was walling around in our disco. Our disco. We don't have a Discord, people. We have a disco. It's always 1980s in there. Going, woe is me. There was absolute rage and despair. When one of our Discord members, I'll name her, Shiny Pogs, affectionately known as Pogs within the community, came online and was all like, Lucky, I believe in you. I had a dream.
Literally.
I had a dream that you actually rolled Made Alter and you changed your nickname to Lucky Beast of the Honeymoon. And it was just like, she was so convinced that the dream had been real that she had to get up and get on the Discord to double check. And you ever have one of those moments when it's all like, this was literally a moment of, press X to seize destiny. And I had to make a choice. Do I literally squander what little money I have left on a final 80 pool pack, and, believe in this random Discordian's, prophecy? Or, do I just play it safe? Now, if any of you know Lucky, if there is one thing he does not do real good, it's play it safe. So, I went all in. I did. I did not get Made Alter in the temples. I didn't. I really wasn't disappointed. It was okay. I was all like, you know what? This is what I tell people. I get mad, but I don't actually get, like, particularly mad at the gacha, per se. I mean, I get mad that there's no safety net. Like, I'm like, why do you let me spend this much money and not give me a consolation prize? Or something like that. But I don't actually blame, like, the gacha itself. It's like, there's no one but me who's really saying, alright, I'm gonna spend this ludicrous amount of money. But, I had 9 quartz left over. And I was all like, yeah, sure, let's, an origin story starting from 0. So let's do these 3 fucking pools, and, we'll call it good. We'll start saving for, Kato Danzo. Because that's the next one I want. On my first single pool, Made Alter. Absolute shit. The prophecy was fulfilled. And according to said prophecy, if you now go onto our Discord, you will now see that I am Lucky, Beast of the Honeymoon. I don't know how long it's gonna stay like that way, but at this moment I felt it was utterly fulfilling. It is now official. We now have a witch in our Discord, and we have an oracle in our Discord. Come to our Discord. It is full of the supernaturals.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna press a Mordred button now. Alright. That probably would have been more dramatic, but I didn't want to cut you off, because we're not synced up on the audio cues.
Yeah, unfortunately not. So I finally got my Made Alter. She is not, like, super level, because, as I said, like, yeah, like, it was like that moment when I got that Made Alter that all the tension just fucking completely goes out of me, and I was just like, okay, I can stop, having a minor episode constantly in the background. And yeah, and I was, like, actually able to get, like, a little bit of grinding done. I wasn't so fortunate. I definitely did not get a fucking, CE drop for any parts. But I was able to clear out the shop a bit. I was able to get, Mama, Smile protected. Because why the fuck not? And I'll be working on these other summer servants here pretty soon. It's just that with Girls Frontline and Azure Lane, my attention is a little divided.
Yeah, you got a few days where we got some breathing room. We've got a gap week, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't done anything interesting since last week.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody new has gotten leveled. I'm just doing some interludes.
I'm gonna talk about these interludes a little bit.
Oh yeah,
but,
well, we'll talk about them. That'll be our next segment.
I guess another record room though. We are recording on August 23rd, 2019, and that's my motherfucking birthday. Lucky is now 32. He's a fucking old ass man.
I wish I had a Party Blowers sound cue, but I don't, and I don't want to go searching for one. Everybody, just leave your happy birthdays in the comments,
please. But that means that all my new servants have just had their birthday lines unlocked, and I'm gonna go have some wholesome bonding time with my 2D PNGs.
Invisible thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep Lucky talking because I have to talk a lot later. So we're gonna move into Skelligrams. And Lucky, I wrote these in compact style, so why don't you read me the news?
Yes, you did.
Well, so the reason why I did that before we cover them really quick, I should mention, was over the week, I managed to squeak in 2 news desk episodes because we had to do some stuff with recording. So, if you want the full details, the actual, full explanation, go track those down. They're on our channel. But I figured we should still cover them because Let's Talk FGO gets a much bigger slice of our viewership.
Yeah. So, over here in North America, we have a bunch of stuff going on. Basically, after Summer 2 ended, we got a solid collage of things. So we have a class-based summoning campaign from 821 to 9.3. We have a Prisma Ilya summon campaign from 821 to 9.3. If I remember correctly, JP, that was in commemoration of the movie, wasn't it?
Yes. But funnily enough, because I talked about this in the news desk, apparently that movie hasn't been officially released in the US, so that's extra funny.
So they're just like, here, have a sneaky Ilya raid up, which is fine. Also, we have half AP Free Quest and half AP Epic of Remnant from 821 to 828. New Interludes and half AP Interludes running until 9.3. And one last note here, don't upgrade to Android 10 yet.
Yeah, so there was a big alert they put out, which is okay, there's going to be a new Android OS update. We are experimenting with making the app compatible with that version. Do not update to Android 10 until we announce we have made it compatible. If you do and it doesn't work, we can't help you. It's your own fucking fault. Don't. And that also came with the announcement that there are, I think it's basically every Android system that was based on Intel chips, every physical hardware, is not going to be compatible with the new version of FGO. And there's a big long list of devices. Didn't find mine on there, so I'm good.
I should actually double check mine. I'm pretty sure mine will be okay, but I should double check.
You also have a couple different devices, but yeah, there's a big long list. We're not going to read it all out. Just find the news article, Control F your actual number. And most of them are pretty old, the devices that are incompatible. For the time being, this will, I believe, ice emulators, but I'm sure that the emulators will come eventually make a workaround for this. But for the moment, also watch out for that. And as always, if you are going to lose access, remember to back up your transfer codes. We still don't have the update that gives us the account binding with Google yet. Though I'm sure this update will probably push us closer to that. And also, if you're on an iOS device, you don't care. It's only for certain Android devices.
Interesting enough, my Samsung tablet will not be able to run FGO anymore.
Interesting.
It's a Galaxy Tab 3. Crazy! I need to get me a new tablet.
Well, did you get yourself a new art tablet yet?
No. Hey, I might be I looked at it. I almost spent $1,000 on this, and it's just one of those moments I always look back and I go, "Lucky, you're a fucking idiot."
We've all made dumb decisions. I can talk about some financial stuff, but I don't want to. Anyway, that's, I think, all our NA news, do you want to just briefly mention the JP thing, or do you want to talk about new interludes?
No, we can talk about JP because it's super fucking important. Because Summer 4 Banner 2 came out. A big fucking surprise. 5-star Ruler Artoria, 4-star Lancer Mysterious Alter Ego Lambda, and excuse me, 4-star Assassin Okuda J Soji. I'm just gonna say this right now. It's official. Summer 4 is gonna fucking slay me.
It's a little bad news bears.
It's a little bad news bears. It's a little bad news bears for the best fucking reasons. Cause, well, I guess we'll talk more about that in new servant details. But
yeah, I got all those notes. We'll talk about their designs and their skills and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that's all the news. We will hop the fence over into Chaldea Free Talk. So as Ilya and Kuro are actual two servants actually used on the Reg, they were I actually did both their interludes like real quick actually, and I died so fucking hard.
Yeah, so the first 3 interludes I did out of the new ones, because usually I'm pretty caught up on interludes. So the first 3 I did were the ones that were the servants I most liked. Not necessarily that I used, because Astolfo's got a skill upgrade interlude in there, but that helps him a lot. But I did Jolter's, Chloe's, because I don't have Ilya, and Astolfo, and right now I'm working on David. But yeah, I thought about making some references, but we want to both stay monetized and stay out of prison, so I did not make any intro jokes about Chloe's interlude, but oh man. I busted out laughing a couple of times.
I don't know, I was kind of expecting you to name me Kill My Wallet.
That would also work, but I can't pronounce the stars in Kill.
That's true. That's the weird thing I will say about, like, you especially see this in, like, Japanese, like, stuff, is people who have names who just have, like, symbols in them. I'm just like, how do you actually verbalize this?
Tamamo does this a lot. She has a certain way of speaking in her, not her name, but in her speech, she likes to pepper in, like, stars and hearts. I'm not quite sure. She has a bit to her verbal dialogue that kind of puts the emphasis on it, but anyway.
Yeah. So, like, again, fucking, like, both, like I said, Omega can't do the Ilya, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it has the same fucking energy. Same fucking
Yeah,
vibe.
I think we saw it, because, hey, we're in the space where when this stuff came out in JP, we were doing the show.
Yeah.
So there's a thumbnail with Switch On Ilya in it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Also, I was quite shocked in Chloe's interlude when they brought back Store Ilya sprite with the apron.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, oh, that's adorable. Alas, something terrible is happening. Why did we chase her all the way out to the forest? Shut up, it's because we don't have inside Chaldea assets. Never mind that's not how the geography works. Though, I don't know. Chaldea is pretty huge. It's a whole mountain. They might have a forest in there. Who knows?
I say more likely Ilya just probably ran into the simulator. Because that is something that they actually do mention on the Red, is that they have a simulator and they use that to simulate things. Because I also did do Nita Chris's interlude, because she is my precious...
I can't do.
Mm-hmm. And that one was precious. Especially since they literally got... that was precious because... I said, Nita Chris is a precious. She really is. You know, pet that jackal. Pet it. But Ilya's was actually more in line with the actual Prisma Ilya show. They actually, made references to it. You fight Kid Gil, who's a little mad that they're talking shit about him because Chloe does not know how to shut up.
No, she's not good at that.
No, it was kind of great.
Well, Kid Gil's also kind of an asshole, but
yeah.
No, I'm gonna expect since they were probably written by the character writer for those characters, that those interludes were probably written by the author of Prisma. So I'm just gonna take a wild guess there, but I assume both of them, but definitely Kuro's is definitely in theme with Prisma.
Mm-hmm.
By in theme, we mean that Chloe is a tiny sexual predator.
Yeah.
And you're an enabler.
Yes, you are, and you do not answer when Mash is like, what do you do with Chloe? You're just like,
No comment.
why are you running away?
No comment. Oh, look, they're having an interaction. Now's a good time to leave. Like, I know some people, like to get mad at MASH for cock blocking or whatever, but MASH is really just your Captain America. She is just pure and good and is asking interesting questions about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, listen, this is not good and or just. Trust me, I know. Which is actually something they commented in Babylonia, Zero, which was like, there was an explicit conversation where like MASH is explicitly raised to be super pure and good. She's super lawful good, so that makes that gives you explanation for why she's kind of straight edge.
Mm-hmm.
She has no practical frame of reference, right? She's not used to interacting with people. She is just a clear, storybook cookie cutter. Hold on, this is a little indecent, I think. Excuse me, pardon me. My glasses are askew.
Mm-hmm.
Mash's glasses are always askew. Anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of piercing questions. There's a lot of interesting commentary. The fucking tea party. Wait, why are we just all sitting around saying tea? I don't know. I thought that's what you do. We started because you said cha-cha. Because tea is cha.
Oh, cha.
So he's just like, and cha-cha just goes cha-cha.
And they just start repeating it. Again, I feel like I guess that was one of those. That was one of those
up to kiss them, but it's no good.
Yeah, again, talking about localization, like that joke is one of those ones that probably can't translate to fucking English that well. So they did sneak
they snuck the ocha in there in addition to them just repeating T, so you can kind of get it.
Yeah,
because they make sure to mention, I think, that it was a Japanese tea party, so like they give you some hints, but there are only so many things that they can do. You're right.
Yeah.
And then the follow-up. Nightingale. Oh my god. First off, Chloe's like, oh, I want somebody with a lot of magical energy, like a berserker, or I want to make a powerful girl submit to me. Of course. And then she's like, and then Nightingale appears, and well, on the one hand, you are an enabler. You're also a huge troll because you egg her on. You're like, I mean, you said, isn't this what you wanted? You're just the giant monkey's paw in this scenario.
If Mash is the virtue, you are definitely the.
Yeah. So it's just so funny. And then Nightingale recovers and gives lethal CPR because, of course, she does. And then did you notice the names of the NPCs in the final match?
Oh my god, yes.
Door to Decency.
But in both Hecking, I love the names in all of them because in all of them they changed their names. Hecking in Ilya, you fight the quote unquote 7 goddesses, and they all have like is actually a big sister. It's like wants to be a big sister-ish, and you're just like, oh my fucking god. Because the big thing about Ilya's interlude is, Ilya wants to get stronger, mostly because she just wants to keep proving to Chloe that she is the big sister. And Chloe's like, no, I'm the big sister. And so, also, apparently, Jaguar Man, calls Ishtar Rin.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
well, also there's I think they skipped it in the English, but in the Japanese, I think it's in Babylonia, where Ishtar accidentally lets out when she sees Jaguar Man, Jagomura Sensei?
Whoa, game, okay.
Yeah, so there's some metatextual references there, because of course there are. Thanks, Taiga.
Thanks. What am I doing? Oh, here we go.
But yeah, so those 2 interludes were super funny.
They were super funny.
Astolfos is kind of interesting too, because you get to experience Astolfos' full airheadedness. Master, we're going on an adventure, okay? Oh no, we're lost in the woods. How did this happen? Pretty sure it's your fault. Don't pay you any mind. Now, I'm hungry. Feed me. And Mash is just like, are you sure about that? This is kind of ludicrous. But also, you hear the legend of Naked Roland.
Roland's servants win.
Axe, you're implying that I have a Medea Lily to do her interlude, which is a lot of implication there, Chief. That's a story locked 4-star,
right?
sir. Who was it that was the, she was on a raid out with somebody. Was it Skahak? I think it was Skahak, where a lot of people got Medea Lily spooks. I didn't, because I was busy rolling for him. Oh yeah, okay, that's it. So I didn't roll super hard on Skahak or Ilya. I was trying to roll Okita at the time. No joy. I cry every time. Well, yeah, but Vesper, you roll on stuff. See, that's the you get those weird rate ups. You get your story locks. I just got lucky with some of my story locks. Like I got my Lancer Altar on a ticket, or my double Teslas, 5 Teslas, 6 tickets, and it took me 6 months to get my my Lancer Altar. Anyway, that's a different conversation. But yeah, so no, interludes are definitely a place where they kind of let the characters out. So Astolfo's pretty funny. You get to see Roland's story sprite. He's had a story sprite for forever. Literally 2 years, still not in anything. Thanks, guys.
Again, I keep telling people, I need, we literally have, the 3, hero groups of all the fucking matters. We have the Knights of the Round, we have the Paladins of Charlemagne, and we have the fucking Argonauts. I need them all in the game so we can have a fucking big triple threat match. Excuse me.
Yeah, so... But yeah, there's also references to Charlemagne, which obviously being 2 years old are way before Extella Link came out. So that's cool. And I did Jean Alters. I gotta be honest, it's kind of basic.
Yeah.
Like, the intro dialogue is really good, where it's Jean Alter talking about her existence, which is, super melodramatic, but also important. Goddamn Amakusa. This fucking guy giving you morality lessons. Just he's still doing his secret planning bullshit. Yeah, this guy. But the actual quest itself is pretty dull. It's basically there's negative energy in the Orleans Singularity still. We gotta blow it up. But you do get to take Castrico and Geronimo along, which is fun.
Again, because he's not the most efficient servant, Geronimo kind of gets a lot of, side, but as actual character, I really fucking like him. He's just a solid bro.
Oh my god, Billy, why do you have so many pips? Holy shit. I just opened up Billy's interlude and it's 6 pips long. Thank god for half AP.
Well, actually, isn't this Billy's first interlude?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't know, maybe it's alright, we gotta give this guy a lot of story.
I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens while I'm playing. Yeah, okay, so it's 7 Knights of the Wasteland. Okay, I see what he's going for. I'm gonna have to shoot some people. Anyway, Billy's probably gonna be fun. I like Billy.
Yeah, I haven't done much with Billy. I should, though.
I leveled him up a lot as, one of my other single-target archer options, but I don't think I used him necessarily a lot, because Chloe came out about the same time.
I need to put as much as melt in this picture as possible! Yes. Excellent. But yeah, I'm probably gonna, as I said, after I get done, giggling over all my birthdays in FGO, I will probably get back. The thing that struck me most, honestly, because I've only done the first pip of Jalter's interlude, so the thing that just keeps sticking out to me is the fucking pun in the interlude title. Which and which. But other than that, I really don't have thoughts on it. As I said, I was planning on actually going hardcore on ember farming for all these servants I have, but you're right, with the lotto boxes coming out, it'd be better just to depend on that.
Yeah, I had that same thought, because I have Maeve's costume unlocked, but you need to be max level, and I'm like, that's a lot of XPs. I could farm, or I could just wait until I'm getting shitloads of all EXP anyway, because I really want those fucking skill cookies.
Yeah, I need skill cookies, super fucking bad.
So, I figure I'll just wait the week, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, maybe knock out some free quests after I do my interludes.
Yeah, I still got fucking quests in, Shinjuku, and I totally just blanked on the name.
Agartha?
Agartha.
Yeah, I haven't done any of Agartha's free quests yet. because we've had a busy summer.
Yes, we did.
All right. Well, on that note, since we don't seem to have much more to talk about, we're about half an hour in. Let's do the Nerofest 2019 pregame.
Yeah.
So technically, this is like Nerofest 2019 Redux Autumn, whatever. It's got a big long dumb name, but we don't care. It's Nerofest again. And since this will probably start in like 5 days, let's talk about Nerofest. So, for now, the format's not going anywhere. It's still Nerofest. There will be 3 segments, preliminaries, semifinals, and finals, each of which has 6 difficulty levels of fights with servants. Since this is a lot of quests, I'm not going to break them down here, but there are graphics displayed which will show you who all the fights are. Like, we gotta watch out for, like, Caldea Kitchen at one point, which is exactly who you think it is. One of them's called, I think it's an early one, is called Desert Romance, and it's Caesar, Cleo, and Scheherazade is there for some reason. So there's lots of these fun little combos. The difficulties are pretty self-explanatory. You want to go for, like, the first 5-ish are good for metals, and the last one is good for petals. There's also a little bit of story this year, so watch out for that. There's going to be at least a opening and closing ceremonies type 0 AP thing. Nice. Which I think explains why Bryn is here, too. Completing the quest will give you an apple on the first clear and drop medals and petals, which are your event currency. So, petals, of course, are the currency everybody's looking for. It lets you spin the lotto. If this is your first lotto event, because I know we pick up lots of new listeners and players, it's pretty simple. 2 petals equals 1 spin, 20 equals a 10 spin. You can't move until the next box until you get the grand prize, otherwise it just randomly gives you 10 of the rewards that are in each lotto box. The first 5 boxes are the CE 2 Gods, 3 Legs. This is important to note because during the event it gives you a maximum of plus 100% attack, so you need it for things. The 6th will be Nero's new costume, Olympian Bloomers. Lucky you laughing at the costume?
Yes.
Of course it is.
I just want to know the guy at the lay works. All right, so Nero. All right, cool.
Well, remember, it's still Wad Arco, so...
Yeah, it probably was Wada Arco. She probably just, like, called up the things like, what if Nero, but PE uniforms?
and art director Takeuchi was like, print it!
Like a lightning bolt struck the offices, and Takeuchi said, let it be so.
7 through 10 are 4-star foes, which are a pretty big deal. And the rest have no grand prize, so you can just farm those endlessly. Each box will contain a handful of skill gems. This is what everybody's after. It's got 2 blues, 2 reds, and 1 gold of every class per box. It will contain mana prisms, QP, EXPs, 25 4-star EXPs per box, kids, and apples, as well as materials such as pages, medals, proofs, and chains, in case you don't have enough of those yet.
New players, you guys don't understand. People literally wait like Horde for like 2 events a year, and that's usually the Christmas Lotto and Nerofest Lotto.
Lottos are, if you have the time and the apples to spam farming them, the Lottos are really good returns on things like QP, certain mats, especially the skill gems, because skill gems are really hard to get otherwise. They're not usually in store currencies. There's usually a few in drops, and there are in dailies, but they're kind of like harder to do. It's harder to like 3-turn farm those. So,
there are some events that have skill gems in the shop, but they're rare.
Yeah, they're very uncommon.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, most people like to go whole hog on lotto boxes. Now your medals, which are bronze, silver, and gold still, these will give you the shop, so you can get 4 copies of the Cheer for Master CE, which increases petal drops. Yes, once again, there's only 4 copies, so you'll have to get one via drop. On the other hand, because you're going to be farming a lot of high difficulty quests, you may probably get a drop anyway.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Cheer for Master is the Bryn CE, so everybody will want it.
And it is amazing. I want it.
It will have a variety of foes. It will have Saber, Caster, Lancer statues. There will be a crystallized lore in the shop. And the mats will include homunculus babies, seeds, void dust, claws, horseshoes, gears, scarabs, feathers, and crystals. So, lots of good mats in there. So, here's the big boy. Lucky, strap in for this. Take a big sip of your monster. Let's talk about the exhibition matches. So, if I'm reading my notes right, first of all, we get basically a rerun of the last year's matches. So you can do all of those again if you feel like it, and still get tickets and mats. Plus the busted hard extra version of the finale. Because, remember in JP, originally the version of the finale was way harder, and they rebalanced it. Supposedly you can access both versions in the rerun, as like a bonus thing. So, that'll be super fun. I'm not going to reiterate those. If you want to go back and look up our episode on last year's Nerofest pregame, it's probably called that. But I'll try and track that down and put that in like the end card or something. Or if somebody in the audience at home knows which episode that is. Let's see, where was I? So yeah, there's 7 new ones. Each gives you 1 summon ticket and 5 of a certain mat. Oh, and we have some special rules. No doubles via support. You cannot have 2 servants of the same name. So no double Merlin.
Oh.
That's right. No double Merlin, no double Waver. Only servants who are a different class or have the alter name can be doubled up on. And no continues.
Oh. Why?
Yeah, so, let's run down. Act 1 is Spartacus with break bars. You'll notice a theme. So he, debuffs your team with Buster Down and has a special delayed heal buff, which gives him 90k, that's 90,000 HP back after 3, 6, and 9 turns. After which he will reset it. This is removable though, so if you want to force him to waste an action to, like, reset his heal buffs, you can strip it. Also, I believe if I'm understanding this right, he recovers 100k HP per turn anyway, and has a very high crit rate against kings. But, if you hit him with quick cards, this basically gives him a debuff which decreases the amount of HP recovery he does. It is recommended that you hit him with single target arts or quick with the CE, because at max limit break that's plus 100% damage. For high damage, and use buff removal to reset his heal stacks. You basically need to hit him hard and fast, don't let him regen, don't let him kick your ass. So second is Suzuka, also with bars. By the way, I'm going to use the term phases here. That's because she does different things at different stages of break bar. In all phases, your team has reduced NP gain from her hits, and she can randomly drop a taunt on one of your team for a turn. Which is super fun. Everybody loves taunt bullying. In Phase 1, every turn she rotates her weakness between the 3 card types. The other 2 card types do significantly less damage, so she'll be like... One turn it'll be like weak to quick, and then arts and buster cards will be way less effective against her. In Phase 2, she rotates her class instead. She starts as a Saber, but she'll rotate through Lancer, Rider, and Caster. I don't know if she rotates back to Saber, it's not clear, but just watch out for that. She'll do that every turn. And in the final phase, she has reduced damage from all sources, but has a random condition that procs where she will be debuffed if you hit her with the right alignment, good, neutral, or evil. So basically, she'll randomly proc a timer on herself, and if you hit her with the right alignment of servant, it'll reduce her damage resistance. So yeah, it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So Act 3 is really funny. This is a Rash. He has 5 million HP. He has 3 sets of guts. His NP will pierce invul. He cannot be stunned, and his buffs are unremovable. He also has a skill which will instantly charge his NP and give him another row of guts after his standard 3 guts runs out. So basically, you need to tank hard with either damage cut or defense up, or your own guts, until he runs out of shots and has to kill himself, basically. I think after like 5 Stellas, he runs out of guts. So you cannot invincible through it, you have to just reduce the damage a lot, or guts through it, and just wait for him to exhaust himself. Which is hilarious. Act 4 is Karna and Arjuna, and this is a real pain in the butt, so hopefully I can articulate this right. So both of them do extra damage to divine servants, so don't bring any divines with you. They will inflict extra effects on their attacks. Arjuna is immune to debuffs, and Karna has an increased crit rate. When you break one of their bars or kill one, the other one gets buffs. So Arjuna, if you break his big gauge, will give Karna full NP and increase his damage resistance from all sources. He will also debuff your player team with reduced NP gain rate, and give himself, I think, attack up and gain NP charge. When Arjuna dies, Karna gets an unremovable buff, which is damage plus and gain NP charge every turn, so he's gaining like 2 pips every turn, which is bad news. Karna gives Arjuna an instant kill rate up when his bar is broken, and when Karna dies, Arjuna will instantly drain your NP gauge to 0, and debuff players with reduced NP gain. Unremovable. This is a lot, by the way. It's like, even battery skills reduce the amount of NP gain you can get up. It's preferable to kill Karna first, because his buffs to Arjuna are slightly less annoying. Act 5 is Da Vinci and hella mobs. There's a lot of mobs, okay? Do not kill her until the end, you will lose. Seriously, the effect she does if she dies is she gives, like, all enemies pierce invincible, unremovable, their NP gauge is charged super fast and their attack is up. Like, they will kill you. You will be fucked. So, all enemies, regardless of class, will have 5 pip NP gauges, and when you hit them, they will lose 1 charge. But you will be inflicted with a debuff based on the type of enemy. Some of these can range from, like, a chance to stun, to, like, your attack or defense goes down, stuff like that. Real boring, tedious stuff. Da Vinci can give a random character, including herself, 2 NP pips that turn. And when you break her first bar, it will charge all enemies' NPs. She also still has her Pioneer of the Stars skill, so she can drop and pierce invincible on herself, and always acts first. So, watch out. This one is basically just you have to chew through all these mobs and try not to let them spam NPs on you before you take care of Da Vinci. Act 6. So this is a real fucker. This is the thing people have been talking about for 2 years. It's the Old Man of the Mountain and 99 of his friends.
What?
So, he has 20 stacks of a Souls buff, which gives him crazy high damage resistance. Like, you will not hurt him. Every time he sacrifices an ally, he loses a stack. He can sacrifice an ally randomly, based on his preference, only once per turn. He gains a buff based on the type of enemy, and charges an NP gauge. Also, one of the buffs is the ability to charge anyway, so sometimes he gets 2 out of this. It's pretty nuts. The other one, like, gives him crit rate up, and the third one gives him heals, I think. He also will always drop 1 hit of taunt on your first servant, and has a big buff on his insta-kill rate, so you're probably gonna die. Unless he's stunned, he will always act first. When you break his bar, he gains a new buff, because he's got 2 HP bars. He gains a new buff where he can become immune to a type of card per turn. He'll just be like, immune to arts this turn, immune to buster this turn. The battle is over when you beat him, so servants with hard defenses and guts are recommended, because you will be dying a lot and taking lots of hits. This is the real big boy bastard that a lot of people have been talking about. And then, the finale is a lot like the last one. It's an endurance run with multiple servants. Thankfully, they have normal HP pools. They're all like 120k per, no break bars, none of that shit. But, so long as they stand around, they give the whole team buffs, and they have certain protections that'll kick in. But that's a shitload of text, so if you want to understand the logic for what I'm about to tell you, look it up yourself. Otherwise, just know, the recommended order is Medea Lily, Ku Alter, Kidgil, Brynhildr, Nero, Kotaro, Martha. Alright? In that order. There's a secondary order if you can remove buffs, because you don't need to prioritize killing Medea Lily, because the reason why you want to get rid of Medea first is she has a buff she can do herself to, like, super increase her damage resist, but it's removable. So if you can take care of that, you don't care that she's making herself impossible to kill. And then finally, the Summon Banner will feature, we're done with exhibition matches, the Summon Banner will feature the return of Nero Bride and Brynhildr on rolling rate-ups, as well as a rate-up on the normal Nero, his story locked, and 3 new CEs, which also increase medal drops, and are cool. So, obviously, you are incentivized to get the, like, 14 tickets that are in here, but you gotta work for them. These aren't free, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta put in some work. And I said this last year, like, especially if you are newer, because I know there are newer players and newer listeners, don't feel like you have to challenge these quests all the time, and don't feel like you're wasting resources. You know, look back, think on it. If you've got a good recommended strategy, try it out. Like, I think the strategy I'm going to try for Spartacus, for instance, is the recommended use Eurale, because apparently with her plus 100% damage, she can, like, chew through one of his break bars each time she fires her NP, so that seems pretty easy to pull off. But if you can't beat one, and even if you can't beat, not even, you know, like in ascending order, but if you're like, man, I just don't have the servants to beat this Suzuka one, then don't beat yourself up doing it, right? Like, tickets are important, there are a lot of them, but there are a lot of them, so there are a lot of different quests you can try. Don't beat yourself up trying to beat them all, because I must complete all the exhibition matches. No, these are ultra high difficulty quests, okay? These are, the normal event is for most people to just farm nonsensically, just brainlessly farm, get pedals, roll blotto boxes. The exhibition matches are, hey, do you think you're a big boy FGO player? You think you're big dick swinging? Well, try these out. Let's see, how far did I get last year? I think I got through 4 or 5?
I think I only got through like 3 myself.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. You were in a bad way last year. You were busy with something else. Or were just dying inside. I don't know. I think I got through 5. The last 2, I was like, fuck no. I'm not doing that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens this year. But alright.
So I'm just gonna field again, Irie, El-Melloi, and Waver constantly.
I mean, they're pretty good strat most of the time.
It's like, it's not that we're doing damage, it's just that we refuse to die.
But okay. Sorry, deep cleansing breath. So, that's most of the stuff you need to know about Nerofest 2019. And I say 2019 because they called it 2017 in Japan, so it's 2 years later. That's how this works.
Time. Space.
Alright, speaking of time and space, let's talk about new servants.
Right.
So, let's start at the top. The Bunny King is here. Remember, guys, the house always wins. SSR Artoria Ruler has monster HP, even higher than Jean. Not as high as Ganesha, I think, but still pretty high. And she has the exact same attack as Jean. She's quick, arts, buster deck. The hit counts are decent, the generation's a little average, which means she's a little sad with that single arts card. But as we like to say, no servant exists in a vacuum. She, of course, has an AoE Buster NP, which ignores defense and charges all 3 of her card types for 1 turn based on OC. Her first skill, Royal Bunny, gives her 1 turn of evade, gives her a large NP charge, it maxes out at 40%, and also, after a 1 turn delay, gives her a decent attack boost. It's a little bit like Ishtar's Manaverse Gems. Her second skill, Royal Card, does a command shuffle, so that's the first time a servant has command shuffled. Normally it's only on that 1 Mystic code. And it gives the team 50% crit up for 3 turns, so the obvious, oh, I don't like this hand, I'm going to reshuffle and bust everybody's crit. But it's got a few turns, so you can, save when you want to pop it. And her final skill gives her 20 to 40% attack up for 3 turns, and a large Star Absorb for 1 turn. Her passives are Magic Resistance A and Territory B to help that 1 arts card. All of her skills are on a 6-turn cooldown minimum, so they all, have roughly the same up and down time. She has a pretty potent buff stack and and a clearly ideal turn. NPBB with crits, guys. It's pretty simple. So any Buster support will amplify her beyond just, hey, my HP is literally the biggest, come at me, Scrub Lords, I'm ripped.
Got a whole bunch of extra padding up front.
So yeah, that's the thing, is she's much more in Mothman's corner than Jean's in terms of a ruler design. She has almost no hard defenses, she only has that 1 evade, which you have to be careful about because that's tied to one of your attack buffs. And the only thing going for her is the class resistance and the shitload of HP. Which is why I'm not ooh, power creep! No, Jean has really high HP and also has a lot of defensive abilities, so, your Ruler Artoria will not necessarily die any slower than your Jean would, just because she's got slightly more HP. I said this before, she's a perfect contraposto to go with Merlin, because Merlin gives her invincible, he lets her regen that HP, he lets her charge her NP a lot faster, gives her even more HP, buffs her crits, etc., etc. Now, obviously, I know Merlin's kind of passé, but I just like to imagine Merlin sitting back on Artoria's giant cruise ship going, laughing like a maniac. Play that one clip from whichever sketch it was that voice did that. Everybody knows the laughing Merlin gif. But yeah, so that's pretty straightforward. Also, so it seemed like in the story that there were some hints that this was the Lion King or Goddess from Gumniad. In her profile and introduction, Ruler Artoria makes sure to tell you that she's definitely not that person, 100%. Which has some people nettled. I'm not really bothered about it. Because it's summer, so it's mostly a joke. She's joking about how she's not that person. And I don't really I'm not really too fussed about, why isn't Lion King playable? She was super fun for those, 5 seconds after we gave her back Excalibur. I don't know.
I'm fine with it. I'm just wanted Lance Artoria because Lance Artoria is still a precious.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Mm-hmm.
She has a sundress and a parasol.
She has a giant fucking ship. She skips on the water. There's a rabbit over the moon reference in her fucking Phantasm.
She has,
and then heavy drop kicks.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Again with the Bunny Can, I want to mention this. She's another one of those characters who has MPs, different MPs depending on her ascension level.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the Lightworks are definitely starting to pull out more and more crazy tactics when it comes to their servants nowadays.
She also has different poses at different ascension levels.
Mm-hmm.
The first and third are the same kind of front facing pose. The second one, which is the parasol and sundress one, is kind of at an angle. Mm-hmm. So it's as usual, production element was put into them.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Lambda-Rillis, or Lambda for short, or possibly Mysterious Alter Ego Lambda. It's her stage name, guys, but she'll fucking kick your ass if you don't call her that. She is an SR Lancer with a quick Arts Buster deck. Her HP is a little low, but her attack is pretty high to compensate for an SR Lancer. Her hit counts are also low, but this means she has monstrous NP gain for an Arts Servant. It's really high. And also, get a load of this shit. So her first skill, Swan Lake A, is a mind-breaking 20% arts up for 5 turns, which at minimum has a 4-turn cooldown. That's right, you can stack that skill on itself. Bonkers. I had to double check with people. I'm like, is this right? Is this accurate? That her skill has a cooldown shorter than its duration? So yeah, that's pretty fun. Her second skill, Perfect Fluid B, gives her 1 turn of Invincible, gives her a big buff removal resistance, and also turns the battlefield to water for 3 turns. That's right, everybody, Secret Summer Martha buff. We've actually been seeing this a few places, so yeah, this is... Melt, I think, is the first new servant to have an actual change the terrain type, or is that... No.
No, there's another one.
Mao and Nobu started that.
Yeah.
She actually had it to change it to fire, which buffs Summer Nobu. And Gawain got upgraded to change the field to sun, but that was an upgrade. So, still, we're continuing the field effect. This probably means we can look forward to somebody who is either new or old will create forests or jungle, whatever the actual keyword for Jaguar Man is. I think that's everybody. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. But yeah, so you can now create water fields for 3 turns. Everybody's making because there's some back and forth between Melt and Gawain. Everybody's making Sunny Day versus Rain Dance memes. Mm. And her final skill, Melt Envy, drains the other team members of NP and charges her own equal to the amount stolen. So if she eats 30% from each teammate, she gains 60%. This also gives her a big Star Absorb and a 30 to 50% attack up for 1 turn. Her NP is an Arts AoE, Blue Summer Palladian, which ignores defense, gains a lot of stars based on overcharge, and if the field is water, she strips their evade first. And since she's fundamentally still Melt, she has a shitload of passives, because she's a high servant. So, Magic Resistance B, Riding C, Independent Action EX, and Goddess Essence C. So that's a lot of added damage and a lot of debuff resistance. Great for art spamming. Also, fluff note, I don't know if we've probably discussed this when talking about Melt's character before a little, but high servants are pretty rare, so I don't think we need to do a full exposition on them, but it's important to note that when BB made her alter egos, she made them as what are called high servants. She combined several high-level Saint Graphs, including Divine Spirits. So, Melt is made up of Artemis, Leviathan, and Saraswati. You mostly see Saraswati and maybe a little bit of Artemis because of Palladian and Virgin Laser Palladian, for instance. Lambda-Rillis, as befitting the L there, is much more heavily leaning on her Leviathan origins. Her final skill has become Melt Envy because in certain demonology texts, Leviathan is the demon of the sin of envy. Her perfect fluid is Leviathan's authority over water, especially seawater. So she can basically turn her body into liquid, like a Terminator. And in general for her character, I think Melt is one of the first hard-coded sons in the game. Like, I talked about this, Jean Alter Berserker is her bond levels are Sun. Like, she switches back and forth between tiny amounts of BP and huge amounts of BP. Lambda literally, after Bond 3, switches her dialogue. Oh. So she's a diva. She's an ice skater, ice ballet kind of lady. So she will do stuff like, we can't be seen together, except, of course, maybe in private. No signatures, no handshakes, kind of stuff. Her dialogue for the Holy Grail is the best line in the game. She says, the Holy Grail? It's like, if you want me to notice you, give me 2. I won't say no to 7. Which, in case you don't get the math, that's how 7 would be how many grails it would take to level to her 100. 2 would take her to 90. So, yeah, that's her low bond level comment on the Holy Grail, and she's just full of these. But after bond level 3, her dialogue changes. She gets a little bit softer. Though obviously, in case you can't tell from her dialogue, she's still pretty hard on the sadistic, but that's Melt. Honestly, people don't necessarily get enough of that Melt. Because in CCC, she's arguably pre-melted because of time shenanigans, so this is probably a much closer look to how Melt would have appeared in the original CCC story, not the collab, as very hard sadistic. She is the alter ego of pleasure. And then, now, let's talk about Okita J Soji. The J is important, and the J is also obviously for Jet. She's a new SR assassin. By the way, if you're wondering where she got the jetpack, apparently, in story, she faints. And MHXX thinks she's dying, because she has TB still, and cybernetically implants a jetpack into her to make her a cyborg. And she cannot take the jet off. They're stuck there. So, for an assassin, she's quick arts buster, super high star gen, and NP gen with crazy good quick hits. She has 5 hit quick cards, and 3 of them. Holy shit. This is some Jack level shenanigans here, guys. So, her NP is an AoE quick, which removes defensive buffs and reduces the enemy's defense, but it has a 60% chance to stun herself for the rest of the turn, which thus establishes Jokita Jameson's pattern. She will demerit herself. Her first skill gives her a big 50 to 100% crit up for 1 turn, and a huge star absorb, but will remove one of her own defensive buffs, but it has a minimum 4-turn cooldown, so that's a very fast turnaround time on star absorb crit up. Her second skill is Eye of the Mind J. There's a lot of J's in here, kids. This gives her 1 turn of evade and sure hit, and gives her 20% NP damage for 3 turns, so you can kind of balance that out on when you need to hit that evade. And then her final skill is M Drive EX. It gives her a big 30 to 50% quick buff for 3 turns, but it lowers her defense incrementally over 3 turns, maxing at 50% defense down on the 3rd turn. It's pretty brutal. So obviously you have to measure when you're going to proc that. She has both magic resistance and presence concealment, but both of these come with a chance to reduce her death resistance, so be careful about that. In future, if they ever do the Gramps exhibition match again, don't take Okita on it. She also has the existence from outside the domain skill because she's back from outer space.
Space!
That gives you 2 stars per turn and increases your debuff resistance a little bit? Or is it your debuff inflict rate? I don't know. Anyway, Jetpack Okita has a lot of risk-reward to her. She hits hard, but she's very fragile. She seems pretty fun. Also, she, once again, talking about design stuff, she has, like, a kind of spacey form, and then she just goes to her bikini in 3rd Ascension, but in 2nd Ascension, she's, like, people have said it's a Warframe reference, actually, or something like that. Like, she's got a very Warframe-y styled katana, and she's got her mecha armor on. I think it's just, there's a lot of generic mecha references there.
Yeah.
And that's, it's interesting, so you can, depending on which Ascension you pick, you can get happy, high-energy Summer Okita, or you can get her serious business face Robot Okita, which is kind of funny. Yeah. On the Sincerity Drive, Makoto Drive. Her jetpack. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then finally, because we said we'd do it this week, let's talk about the new welfare, SR Saber Hokusai. She has a not typical Saber deck. She's also a quick arts buster, like Melt up there, which is interesting. Fairly middle attack HP. Her NP gen is a little low, but she does have decent hit counts. And she has a high hit arts single target NP, which improves NP damage for 1 turn based on overcharge. So basically, I think her NP gain is a little low because her NP is an arts card itself, which has like 8 hits. It's also super cool. I don't know if people out there have seen it yet, but you should. It's fucking literally art in motion.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna climb that fucking waterfall. But yeah, so that's a pretty big smackdown. Her first skill is Divine Ink. Well, I should say there, because Octodad is still there, and he's like, I don't know what he's doing right now, but it's freaky. He's like an Octo Dragon now. I don't know. He's even more cool. But the first skill is Divine Ink. This is a battery skill that gives you 10 to 20% NP and 10 to 20 stars. Pretty straightforward. Second skill gives you a Chunky Guts for 5 turns. I think it goes up to like 3k. And a Star Absorb, but because of the guts, it has a long cooldown, so watch out for that. And the final skill is interesting. So this is Dragon Crest Octopus, not Quest. B. It's a 3-turn, 20 to 30% arts up, but it also activates a special timer. Every time Hokusai lands a crit, their critical strength goes up by 10 to 20% for 3 turns. So basically, when you start critting, your crits get bigger and bigger until the timer buff wears out, which is neato.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun new gimmicks in these servants. Passives are Magic Resistance C and Divinity E, a very solid arts powerhouse with cheap NP5. So, I don't think that, like, Saber Hokusai is super broken, but she does stand in an arena with such big hitters like Saber Lancelot and, you know, Rama and other, Saber Alter. Like, she stands with other 4-star Sabers and has her own solid niche.
If I remember, like, what other welfare Sabers have we had? I forget.
I think it's just Saber Lily and Liz.
Yeah, so considering, like, again, like, I always say, there's not necessarily bad servants, there's just, you know, niche situations that they're good in. Hokusai definitely seems to fit more, like, into, alright, now you just have a good all-round Welpo Saber to take around.
Right, because
rather than Liz.
Liz did have a bit of a problem where, obviously, as a single target buster, she was like, oh, she's gonna kill bosses, but her third skill is very, very weird and kind of goes against her nature, right? Like, it doesn't help you because you want to NP for big damage, and some of her other skill numbers were a little weird. So Hokusai is a lot more focused, and a lot more just, here are skills which are always good. You want to arts crit, you want to spam NP, and you want to arts crit. Boom. Go! Go, 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 go! Just keep smacking them, and you'll just do the damage you need. And like I said, cheap NP5. Yeah! And that's all our new servants. Yeah, this is a really good year for Summers. Lots of really good designs. It turns out that they were not the 5 stars, but Takeuchi and Wadarko did draw 2 servants.
Yep. It continues.
And heck, there was an Artoria even. So the patterns hold? Question mark?
There's an Artoria, there's a Takeuchi, and there is a Wadarko.
And let's see, so yeah, we had 2 servants who were classics. They were, we had Okita and Melt, who were very popular servants from, very popular characters from other, and then the other ones were technically originals. Because there was, Lancer Artoria is technically kind of an original type character, because she obviously acts differently, and is portrayed differently than the regular Saber form. And then we got, Musashi, Carmilla, and Osaka Hime, which is good. And I know some people would be like, wait, isn't Carmilla just grown-up Liz? A.k.a. Emiya Liz? Kinda, but they don't, especially up to the point we're in English, they don't really play that up super hard. There's like, the 2 have a confrontation in Orleans, and then that's about it. Like,
well, you gotta remember, Carmilla is based off of a fictional character from on a book that was based on Elizabeth Bathory.
Well, yeah, Carmilla's doing some weird things to herself. She still admits, and that's like her starting profile is like, ooh, I was Elizabeth Bathory, spooky. But she also definitely does take on her own identity as a character because she's like a vampire, and Liz is not really. In fact, arguably in CCC as like a berserker, and later Lancer, Liz has way more way more vampire type stuff going on.
Spirit origins are weird, yo.
But also, Liz is a dragon? Question mark? It's weird. It's really weird.
'Cause
But yeah,
those,
Carmilla
Cam-
as a character only appeared originally in FGO, though.
Yeah.
So she's an original, and we did get a limited 5-star upgraded to welfare, which was Hokusai. So you can hang out with Hokusai a lot.
Like, I keep telling people, a lot of people saying they're gonna, like, roll for a Hokusai at, like, the New Year's banner. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna pass, because I'm rolling for, Abby, but I'm still glad I'll get my own free Hokusai.
I mean, I'm still going to do it, because I'm not going to roll for Abigail, so...
One day I will have a full support team of all these. So.
But yeah, so Summer 4 is going places. There's a lot of really interesting stuff going on. There's a lot of interesting story. It sounds like they're doing some pretty high-level funds and stuff at the different casinos and things. And it's still time-locked and still ticking, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if there's any breakout stuff. But yeah, it seems super fun. And then, I don't know, I guess after... There's going to be probably a little bit of break after Summer 4, which ends in... Let me double-check. Alright, it doesn't end for another 11 days, so they got another, almost 2 weeks in there. Though some of that obviously will be farming.
Something in the middle and probably then jump into whatever their fest is.
Yeah, whatever new fest we're doing this year.
Aussie Fest? That'd be cool.
Who knows? It could, I don't know. The Nerofest is a really weirdish sort of event, because it's like, we do actually get a little bit of story this year, and did we get, like, a little intro story last year? We might have. I don't remember. If it was only, like, one intro pip, which explained...
Nerofest has...
Go ahead.
Nerofest is still, like, an annual event, so I guess maybe just as time goes on, they realize how popular it is, they just start putting a bit more effort into it every year.
Yeah, so it's kind of... But the event is still treated as, like, oh, it's the same sort of event each year, it's just now we have a little bit of detail. And then in Guildfest, or which was technically a battle in New York, was like, okay, we're just going to completely change the paradigm. So yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. If they're going to keep just completely changing the paradigm, that'll be okay. Yeah. Like for Halloween, are we going to do Oniland 2, or are we going to do something completely different? Because they said that they were ending the Liz trilogy. Though I know a lot of people are hoping for Oni Liz to show up as a costume in the rerun, which I'm also hoping. Because she got another cameo in Summer 4. They remembered they have that story sprite, so... Also, I don't know, I guess I'm still wondering, there's a lot of Knights of the Round stuff, too, in 4, for obvious reasons, so I'm really wondering if they're gonna, is there gonna be, secret raid quests at the end to unlock all the Night Summer costumes? Who knows?
That'd be nice.
That'd be cool, but that's also a lot of effort. But they did also draw all the sprites last year, so I don't know, they've had a lot of time to work on it.
I'm just hoping for our Halloween we have Revenge of the Liz.
That would be funny.
Though
a lot of people are also pointing out there's a shitload of Servant Universe cameos, like now with Okita J Soji and keeping MHXX kind of in the meta. A lot of people are wondering, are we gonna get Saber Wars 2 finally? Are they gonna do something with that? So who knows?
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, no, they got a lot of characters from this Servant Universe going on now. Yeah, they are continuing to still reference it and bring elements of it in, so it's very interesting. Yeah.
We'll see if they decide to actually pull the trigger on that.
Bang, bang.
Alright, well, I think the show's been going on long enough, so we can probably wind on down. We're an hour 15, raw. Nice. I said, we're going to skip Teach Me Omega Sensei this week. I didn't have time to do all my notes and also write all the other stuff. But it's okay. We got Nerofest will run for 2 weeks, or it should, so we'll have plenty of time next week to talk about it. So I guess
we're doing what are Mystic Eyes, right?
Yeah, that's what won.
Yep.
So we'll teach you
also
what Mystic Eyes later.
With fucking case files.
Yep, as expected. So we can talk about case files now. Yeah, because this is Let's Talk FGO. So there was a case files episode. We're actually doing the real Zeppelin plot now for realsies. Mm-hmm. So you got your tiny Olga Mary cameo.
Yes, good.
Which, like I said, still confuses the shit out of me timeline-wise.
Yeah.
How old is she in... Because it's 2004 right now. How old is she in 2016 when FGO starts? I don't know. I got the impression she wasn't that much older than us, but... Yeah. I don't know. Maybe she was just acted like a brat because she's a mage. I don't know.
Marie, Pseudo-Servant, win. Use it for Galileo. That'll work.
Well, yeah, they do talk a lot about the astronomy thing.
Mhm.
And also lots of ominous plots about the Enemy Sphere family, which is like, listen, we're interested in other stuff. We're looking to the heavens, observing, and you're just like, this is going very
Mystic
differently in a
eyes.
different timeline.
Apparently, also something I liked about this episode is they gave a little bit more detail about one of the supporting characters that you see, Vet, who is very colorful and very outspoken about her affection to Waver. Like,
Mhm.
to the point of she's.
Well, yeah, it seemed to be that it kind of seems like, at least because, I don't know if it was 100% because of the eye she had in, which was her thing. She's got an eye patch, and she mentioned that her family artificially creates mystic eyes by cutting gemstones. So I'm like, the one she had on the real Zeppelin was a mystic eye of sensing human emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So that had me wondering if she's not so outspoken and almost trolly just to see what happens to people.
Well, she definitely did that with Gray.
And then she's very disappointed because Gray doesn't react at all. Poor Gray. She's dead inside.
But it also could be true because there are been allusions that Waver is actually pretty damn popular with the females in Clock
Of course
Tower.
he is. Have you seen him? Have you seen that, Professor? Did you see the fucking CE they came out with for the Case Files collab? Something hot for teacher. There's a music reference in there somewhere. Anyway, but yeah, so we're doing the real Zeppelin thing. For some reason, Flat and what's his face? I'm still not good with the names. I talked about this a couple days ago when I was talking about Fire Emblem. Everybody's some people have joked that I'm channeling that real Professor energy. I can't remember any of the kids' names because I'm not good with names. But yeah, so that guy. But they brought Cowlus along, which is cool. We get to see more of him. And Yvette just showed up because her clan is all about mystic eyes.
So of course they're on this supernatural train full of monsters, apparently.
With the freaky blindfold chick, who's definitely not something terrible. There's probably some vampires on there. Because that's the thing. I don't know. Vampires are weird and not sewers. But I believe one of the normal powers of a vampire is they all have some kind of mystic eyes. Usually it's like an enchantment thing, and they have like different scales.
Dashino showed up from the policies department.
Mm-hmm.
We had a guy from the church, and that was a real Mexican standoff moment right there. Everyone's like,
yeah, because I don't think we covered how much, but normally there's a lot of tension between the Mages Association and the Holy Church.
Yeah.
I think the only thing they cooperate on is the Holy Grail War, and that's because of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a nice guy. He talked to Gray about stuff. Did they say that it was his eyes that let him see the past? He has like post-cog eyes, or is that just a general ability he had? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I've had a very fuzzy week and weekend, guys. So details escape me. It's been a while. Anyway, he turned out to be all right. And Olga Malley had a chaperone. Who has her own mystic eyes of... they weren't quite clairvoyance. Were they precognition? I don't remember the term.
I think it was precognition.
Yeah, so she sees glimpses of a possible future. And I'm kind of sad that we're not getting into mystic eyes, but we just didn't have the time. But basically, they explain that... Waver explains in the episode, there's a rank system, and the highest rank supposedly will be on the train. They're going to sell, what was it, Rainbow?
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. That's better than even Medusa. Medusa's eyes are jewel rank. So it's very interesting. This is like a big fucking deal.
What rank are... I know it's not actually... But do you know what rank Shiki's is off the top of your head?
I don't think Shiki's... I don't think that Shiki... Because remember, there's two... Technically in Natsuverse, there's two Shikis. There's the one who's in Tsukihime, and then there's the Kara no Kyokai one. They both have the same surname. And the same mystic eyes. But, Ryogi Shiki, I don't think she's ranked in the story, but if I had to guess, I assume hers are top ranked because of reasons.
They are a little overpowered.
That's the thing though. Remember, Kara no Kyokai was kind of the prototype. It was very clearly referencing things that Natsu would later flesh out, but also didn't have time to flesh out yet. So like, we don't really talk too much about how, for instance, Toko has an almost antagonistic relationship with the Mages Association. Nobody ever discusses like what level Fujino's eyes are at. They're pretty good though, because in FGO they're ranked like EX. Her psychic powers of her mystic eyes of bending.
Well, they have to be, because her mystic eyes actually affect fucking reality.
Yeah, no, they're. I think her eyes weren't supposed to be that high ranked, but because her powers were suppressed, they got real big deal. Because
It's like most.
she actually has unlimited clairvoyance with her eyes. That's not the only thing they do, but because after she loses her real vision, she can basically perceive forever using her mystic eyes, which also give her telekinesis. It's really broken. She has telekinetic clairvoyant eyes. But yeah, don't worry. I'll write all the notes and sort all this stuff out next week.
Yeah, I am the curious.
But unfortunately, the cliffhanger for last week's episode was that poor lady got her head knocked off. Probably. It was probably her.
Wants her fucking eyes. Probably.
Probably. There's a lot of probablys here, but also, we are literally on a train mystery, so... who knows? There could be some twists and turns. Maybe she has a secret twin. You don't know. You don't know yet.
We're literally on a train that's dealing with the sale of mystic eyes, and a fuck ton of people with mystic eyes just got on fucking the... Of course some shit's gonna fucking...
Of course. Well, also, it's case files, so you knew there had to be a murder mystery.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to next week's episode. Also, act about the rank names. It's because Nasu. I bet you they're in English. Somewhere. So, no, it sounded cool. Mages don't have to make sense, Axe. It's about mystery. Things are mysterious, he says mockingly. Because God forbid we have a clear language. Who knows? Anyway, stretchy jaw. That was case files. Is it really? I don't think there's much else to... Most of it was expository. Because of course it is.
Mm-hmm.
Though, I don't know if there was a normal subplot, but there is a little brief subplot where apparently, Go, Lion, and Luvia are gonna team up.
Motherfucking dream team, I guess.
I guess. Because Rena's hires Kyrie and tells him that Luvia will help him, and that's just like, I don't know where this plot's going, but it's hilarious.
Apparently, because they're trying to figure out who the fuck, snuck in and stole a relic.
Yeah, because...
And
honestly, for Rena's, it makes sense, because Waver's off getting the damn thing back, because he can't think about anything else, so...
Well, Rena's is probably also like, no one gets to bully my big brother but me.
That's true, but also, like, it makes sense for her to be, like, the practical thing, like, no, seriously, though, we need to figure out who fucking stole it, not jump into their arms to get it back. But Waver's busy having huge man angst about Iskandar. Because he doesn't have his relic, he's gonna miss the fucking Holy Grail War. Ooh. He's gonna miss it! Which, like I said, I don't actually know what timeline case... Like, that's the thing, remember the whole branches of times, which we had a big, long conversation about. It's like, there are many forks in the tree, so I don't know if Case Files is actually supposed to be concurrent with the original Fate Stay Night.
Actually, from what I do know, like I said, I did spoil myself a little bit. Like, the end of the final arc of Case Files overlaps with the beginning of Fate Stay Night, because something happens to Ray, which kind of directly leads into it. Yeah. Sure.
That also, the problem there is that leads me to a question, which if you don't answer obviously, but then you have further problems because Fate Stay Night is also 3 different timelines.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Well, they all start out... Well, here's the thing. They all start out the same.
Right. That's right, because there's the prologue where technically Rin is the protagonist, and then at the end of it, it forks.
Yeah.
But yes, there is a point where that timeline itself further splits. So it's like, it's hard to tell if these are supposed to be one-to-one parallels, but obviously we know that nominally Waver doesn't show up at Holy Grail War 5.
Nope. Because he's off dealing with a thing.
Because he's got problems.
And debt.
He does have debt. Can he afford a plane ticket?
If he asks his best buddy, maybe.
Yeah. No, all right. So we'll talk about more about Case Files as it comes out. Obviously, I'm pretty sure, because it was said that this is only 13 episodes, and we're obviously over halfway in. I'm pretty sure this is going to be like a strong roller coaster into the finish. Like, we're probably not going to get any kind of slowdown. This is all just, we're going to keep hurtling forward till the end of this arc. and then I'm gonna be like, for the love of God, make more anime or sell me those light novels.
Do it.
But yeah, I think that's the show. And I'm starting to get a little stiff sitting here, so this is probably a good time to wrap up. Lucky, do we have any final thoughts this week?
No.
Alright, hold on.
I said it.
That's a very interesting sound wave you just made. Anyway, I guess it's time to wrap up. So next week, tune in to see if Nerofest did in fact start and how much the exhibition matches are kicking our ass, and some other stuff. And like I said, I'm betting that will be a light news week, so look forward to Teach Omega Sensei.
Alright, just real quick, I did a real quick look of case file arcs. It looks like there's 6 arcs, and the Mystic Eyes ones was actually the 3rd arc.
Yeah, we're smacking the... if I remember rightly, I understood that we were smacking the middle of the story, because I think this is volumes, 5 and 6 out of, 10?
Let's see, 3 and 4.
3 and 4, okay, so it's still a couple of books towards the middle-ish out of several more.
10, I think.
Yeah. So I guess that leaves them open if they want to do another season again later.
Yeah, because they have definitely referenced previous arcs, like with the Separation Castle, because that was the first arc. Second arc was the Twin Form Tower of Zima. 3rd arc is the Mystic Eyes Collection Train. 4th arc is the Atlas Contract. 6th arc is the Grand Loot Resolution arc. And I think it's 10 volumes total.
Yep.
Yeah. And the case files is done. The light novel is done. So
yeah, they concluded. So yeah, there's still room for more anime if they wanted it.
Again, I have to wonder, why did they... Well, that's my question, is why did they go smack in the middle?
I don't know. It might be just that this one's more iconic.
I guess.
Because when you have more arcs to pick from, you might as well just be like, let's just jump straight to the good parts, and we don't necessarily have to do a lot of the setup, right? We can do that ourselves, and then just roller coaster through a really interesting arc that shows off characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's probably a lot of planning, because obviously it was coordinated by Type Moon, and, that author works with Nasu about the story and stuff, so there was probably some back and forth. There's probably some back and forth with the FGO team, because obviously they ended up doing the collab to kind of lead up to it. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the show this week. Mm-hmm. So if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to give us a like. I said a lot of F and V sounds in there, but I think that was English.
Probably.
Leave a comment in the section down below if you have any comments about anything we did, or join our Discord. That link is, as always, in the description. It's a fun place, full of fun people. And some not-so-fun people, but we ignore them. And, of course, if you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. We're, like we said on our impromptu What's Up earlier this week, we're shooting pretty close to that 2,000 mark. So we'll do a little something then. Let me actually look at the number while we're talking about it. And, of course, even if you're already subscribed, don't forget that bell for notifications so you always know we post a new episode. Yeah, we're at 1959. And, like I said at the front of the show, consider supporting some Patreon. You can get access to episodes early. You can get access to them in audio format for as little as $1 a month. You can download them, listen to them on whatever, wherever. Don't have to worry about YouTube ads. And, it really helps us out. So yeah, that's everything. We'll see you next week for more Let's Talk FGO. And, we'll see you probably in a couple of days still for What's Up again. Because we're lunatics. Alrighty. I'm yawning now. I think that's a good point to end. Do you think that's okay to end? Me yawning?
Sleepy boys out.